Hi there, welcome. I'm Tom. This is Tom's Grinder Labs Burrnament. This is a 2025 medium espresso edition. Now, if you don't know what a Burrnament is, it's where we essentially get 16 64mm flat burr grinders or thereabouts and put them head to head with each other, kind of in the format that you might witness during a tennis tournament. In this case, it's a round of 16. So the 16 grinders are matched up each against each other in match one, which we've just completed. The winner goes through to the quarterfinals, and from match two, the winner goes on to challenge the quarterfinals and so on all the way through. Now, if you want to know which grinders and burr sets were involved with this, here is the list of them. Feel free to pause the video and have a look. Not going to go through them all for the sake of time, but I will put a link to the introductory video underneath this one, so that if you do want to know the how, the why, and the what behind the whole concept of the Burrnament, you'll be able to find that with the link underneath this video. So we've already completed match one, which was between the VS6 Supernova flat stock burr and the Time War 064S, and the VS64 took that one out. Today's match is between match two, which is between the Mazzer Philos i200D and the DF54. Let's meet the two competitors. Here they are. Now, before you just jump to the conclusion that a grinder which is 4 times the price of another grinder is bound to win, a word of caution. This is not about the grinder. This is about the burr set. And not only is it just about the burr set, it's about the burr set in the context of a medium roasted espresso bean and the baristas which were sampling the coffee at the time. So it's medium roast espresso, and you know, the i200D is one of my favorite burrs for light espresso. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our baristas find it compares to the humble DF54 for a medium espresso bean. So just always remember, with all these videos, the context is we're not trying to find a better grinder. We're trying to find a burr set that is preferred within the context of medium roast espresso bean on this particular day, with the particular 3 blind grind taste comparing baristas, having a sample of each one. On the note of baristas, I felt a bit remiss in the first video not to share with you a little bit more about who they are, because these guys gave up a day of their time to do this for, took one for the team and probably gave up about 3 nights of sleep afterwards because they were so caffeinated. So let me introduce you to them. I chose a cross section. Daniel, the succinct one, medium dark milk, that's his specialty. Sean's a genuine all-arounder. You name it, he'll drink it. Filter, espresso, light, dark, whatever. I'm the OCD supervisor who prefers medium light beans. Stan's the only Q-Cup qualified who prefers light roast and filter coffee with light roast. And Christoph's Mr. Articulate. He's kind of the guy that really is able to articulate exactly what he's tasting, experiencing in the cup. So what we did is we rotated these baristas during the day. There was always a minimum of 3. Everyone participated as a blind taster. Not that they literally had a blindfold on, but they used our protocol for naming the cup conventions underneath left to right, matching them with the log, and then having the 2 pours simultaneously from the 2 decent espresso machines, one from each of the 2 grinders that are competing against each other. Now, this was a bucket load of work, not just on the day, but in the planning. Buying 16 grinders, yeah, that was a fair bit. Seasoning them all, aligning them all, dialing them all in, ready for the baristas to come in and for the competitors to take their places. So please, do me a solid and subscribe, but also, really importantly, share this with your caffeinated friends and colleagues, please, because I really want to grow this channel, and I hope this is a good way of doing that. So back to the grinders in question, Mazzer Philos i200D. Let's have a look at the first blind grind taste compare baristas notes. Stan preferred the Philos i200D, but he did say that there was not much in it for a medium roast bean. Now, have a look at his log. You can pause it and have a look through it and see which his preferences were. He did say greater flavor strength coming through for the DF54, but fuller body, more acidity, more clarity, more sweetness, a better finish. Overall preferred for Stan was the i200D burr in the Mazzer Philos. And remember, by the way, Mazzer make a different burr for the Philos, which is the i189D burr, a burr I often call the 198D burr, but it's a i189D burr, and we are testing that one as well later on in the Burrnament, so stay tuned for that one. So, Christoph chose the DF54. He said that there was greater flavor, contrast, and a longer finish, and Christoph is someone who really enjoys the finishing notes on espresso, and so he rated it as his preferred espresso from the DF54 for each one of the characteristics on the blind grind taste compare log. So that left the deciding vote to Daniel, and he chose the DF54, noting that the clarity and smoothness of the DF54 was nicer. Clarity and smoothness, and then I always have my summary log which summarizes the winner, takes who the winner was from the 3 blind grind taste compare baristas. And also a quick note to say one of them liked the clarity and body of the DF54, one of them thought the smoothness and clarity was better in the DS54, and one thought there was not much in it but chose the i200D. So there you are. There are the results. We've got 1 vote for the Mazzer and 2 votes for the DF54. Always remember, this is about the burr set within the context of a medium roast bean and within the context of the 3 baristas who were doing the blind grind taste compare test on the day. On a different day with a different bean, it could easily have been the Mazzer Philos with the i200D burrs that was the winner. And in fact, I would suggest in a Burrnament that we're going to do for light roast espresso, I would suggest that that probably would be the winner. So let's go and have a look at our score, our draw. We've got the Turin DF54 going to the quarterfinals where it will be up against the VS6 Supernova with the flat stock burrs. And match 3, which is the next video, is going to feature the DF64 Gen 2 with the stock burrs, steel burrs, no DLC coating on it, that comes later, with against the Option O Mizzen, which is the 64mm flat burr. So that's what's coming your way in the next video, the DF64 Gen 2 with the stock burrs, uncoated, versus the La Gomme Mizzen. And as always, remember to get your butt over to tomsgrinderlab.com if you want to download my espresso optimization and troubleshooting guide. Until then, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, enjoy your coffee. Cheers.